Okay, in this video we're going over the main card of UFC Fight Night, Abu Dhabi. The main event was Robert Whittaker versus Reiner Ritter. It was a pretty good fight night overall. The prelims were very exciting. There's some finishes on the prelims that were sick. There was a record broken on the prelims for most knockdowns in UFC history between Muhammad Yahya and Stephen Nguyen, which was insane to watch. I'm very glad I was there for that fight. That was very fun. Big. I'm very happy Steve Herzog decided to not stop it early like he always does, and for some reason stop it insanely late and not stop it at all. It doesn't really make any sense to me why he would do that all of a sudden, because he's always been kind of the early stoppage guy, but I like this newfound hatred for fighter health from Jason Herzog. I like it a lot. It made for a very entertaining fight. We also have Davy Grant pulling off the upset, which was sick to watch. I love Davy Grant. He's such a fun striker. Very fun. Muslim Salikov destroyed Carlos Leal, knocked him out in the first round super easily. The back of Carlos Leal's head touched his back. He whipped his fucking head backwards and knocked him out cold. It was awesome. Bryce Mitchell is where we'll start out because I actually predicted this one. I predicted Bryce Mitchell to win by decision. He won by decision. He beat Said Nurmagomedov in a very Nurmagomedov style, I would say. Bryce Mitchell wet blanketed the fight. He just held him down for the entirety of the fight where he needed to. In the first round, he got rocked, dropped by a knee, which one side Nurmagomedov the round. Bryce couldn't really get his grappling going as well as he wanted to in the first round, but in the second and third, he really started to get it going, which was not fun to watch whatsoever, but it won in the decision. Bryce Mitchell's very good at grappling. He used his physicality, moving down a weight class, and it really did work. Said Nurmagomedov tried to go for guillotines. It didn't really work. Bryce Mitchell adjusted for that threat, which is good to see. And yeah, Bryce Mitchell gets it done by decision. Impressive. Kinda. Not really. But he gets a win, which he needed. So yeah, next. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov. I went with Bogdan. I didn't trust Krylov's chin whatsoever. And what do you know? Nikita Krylov gets knocked out in the first round by Bogdan Guskov. Very nothing really to say about this fight. Bogdan Guskov was like trying to stay on the outside and move around while Krylov was trying to pressure forward. They exchanged some strikes, and then Bogdan landed a mean right hand and follow-up ground and pound, which put Nikita Krylov out. I feel bad for Krylov. For his whole situation sucks. Now he's on 2 KO losses, and there's not a lot of momentum for his career going forward. Not a lot of cool matchups I would like to see from him going forward. It's just kind of everything in his life kind of sucks, and I feel bad. Bogdan looks like an orc, but he looks like Azog from The Hobbit, but he's very good. He's very powerful. He's technical on the feet. He has good grappling. He didn't showcase that in this fight, but I'm excited to see what he does going forward. I think he's going to be a kind of a menace in the light heavyweight division. He has a lot of power. He's got a lot of finishes. I'm excited to see what he does going forward. He's the good Anthony Smith. Next, Asu Amabaya versus Jose Ochoa. I picked Ochoa. I thought he was going to be able to do more damage on the feet and stuff takedowns, which he did do that, to be honest. He stuffed takedowns. He did more damage on the feet. But he didn't stuff enough takedowns. Asu Almabayev had one thing in mind during this fight, and it was non-stop takedowns. Do not stop fucking going for a takedown, even if it's stuffed, even if you're the most boring fighter on earth, even if the fight's horrible and garbage. Do not stop going for a takedown. And that's what he did, and he had success, and he won the fight. I thought Jose did a little bit more in the third. He stuffed a little bit more, landed a little bit more shots, but overall, Jose couldn't get it going. Couldn't get anything really going because Asu was pretty much relentless in his grappling pressure, made for a super boring fight, but also he won clearly. So good for him. I'm not excited at all to see what he does going forward. He's insanely boring. Jose had a really good, like, for short notice, he did well, and he was stuffing a lot of takedowns. Fucking Asu shot a billion of them. Jose stuffed a bunch, tried to go for 6 strikes, and everything Asu hit him with on the feet, Jose ate, and like it didn't even look. It was weird the way Jose was taking shots because he would take a shot, and it literally looked like there was no impact at all. It was kind of weird, and it makes me confident in Jose's chin and striking going forward. And I think on a full camp, Jose Ochoa beats Asuma Almabayev, but He didn't get that opportunity. Asu gets it done by decision. Boring as shit. But what can you do? Next, Shar Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. This was a good fight. This was fight of the night, which it should be. Yeah, Shar Magomedov gets the decision win, but with a lot of adversity coming from Marc-Andre Barriault, which I didn't expect. I really thought Shar was kind of going to dominate the entirety of the fight. He won the fight, and he won it clearly, and he did the more damage. Maybe not. Shar Magomedov had his nose just completely shattered in the second round by Marc-Andre Barriault. Just shattered to oblivion. He made a face that he was just disgusted at what had just happened to him. And Marc-Andre kind of put it on him in the second round for a minute there. Made Shara bloody as shit. Shara took a lot of damage in the second. And then Shara kind of put it on him at the very end and almost finished him. So the second round goes to Shara, but there was a lot of damage done to Shara, which doesn't make me confident with him going forward. I skipped the first round. In the first round, Shara just did better on the back foot, striking wise, and won that round via points, did more damage, had more output. Typical Shara round. The second round was way more interesting. The third round was more of Shara just doing his thing. Marc-Andre would clinch and try to get up against the cage, and every single time he did it, he'd hold in there for a second, and every single time he did it, Shara would frame on the face and elbow him like 3 times, and every single time, it looks like it hurt Marc-Andre Barriault really badly, which made Shara Magomedov win the fight, pretty much. Shara was more active on the feet. He was more damaging, except for the second round. Overall, he won the decision clearly, but Marc-Andre did a lot more than I thought he was going to do, which doesn't make me confident for Shar going forward. I don't like Shar's finishing potential whatsoever anymore. If it's not some weird... He's kind of like a woman's MMA fighter a little bit with his finishing potential. He has a lot of output. It's not really doing a ton of damage. And then if it's not either a crazy head kick or a spinning back fist, he's not going to finish someone on the feet. Basically. And that's what women's MMA fighters are. Besides Tabitha Ritchie on this card, who got the first TKO in a really long time. If you're not spinning back fisting another woman or head kicking them, you're probably not going to knock them out. Once in a blue moon, you're going to knock out outside of those 2 strikes. And Shara Magomedov's kind of the same way. But he won this fight by decision. He beat Marc-Andre Barriault where it mattered. No grappling really besides the clinch exchanges. Shara actually shot 1 takedown. And no, Marc-Andre tried to take him down, but Shara held the cage a bunch, which was funny. It doesn't make me like him more. But yeah, he was trying to cheat. It worked. The ref didn't say shit. So if you can cheat, might as well do it. And Shara Magomedov has gotten away with cheating before. He's going to keep doing it. And he's probably going to keep doing this against low-level guys. I don't trust him against the high-level motherfuckers at middleweight. But Shara gets it done. Next, Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee. So, Peter Yan has a clean performance. Clean striking performance. He starts a little weird in the first round like he always does. He's a slow starter. He starts to pick it up in that first round. He starts to get going. Marcus McGee has good striking. He showcased that in this fight. It was a step behind Peter Yan in his clean striking and his crispness. It was a step behind. And Marcus McGee was landing, and he has really good technical boxing. But the way Peter Yan was mixing it up was a little bit too much for Marcus McGee to handle. Marcus McGee's combinations were a little bit too rudimentary. Peter Yan, I thought Marcus McGee won the first round. Barely. Very close round, but I thought Marcus did a little bit more than the second and third. So I thought Marcus could have gotten the first. The second and third, Peter Yan dominated. Peter definitely outstruck Marcus McGee in the second. Was doing a ton, way more damage. A lot of output. In the third, it was kind of a snooze fest. Peter Yan kind of doggy-styled him up against the cage for the entirety of the round, pretty much. And then do the cool trip on him like he always does. And that was pretty much it. So Peter Yan gets it done by decision. Third round is really boring. And the ref kept saying, like, I want to stop it. Like, try to advance position. He kept saying that. Nothing was happening at all for like 4 minutes of the round. He kept saying it, and he didn't separate them at all. And I was like, dude, separate them. They're not doing anything. it was a little bit boring, which I didn't expect very much from Peter Yan, but Marcus is tricky. So I understand getting the win, especially because Peter Yan has troubles with decisions. He really wanted to lock that one down. And I don't blame him. And he was exciting for the first 2 rounds anyway, so who really cares? Peter Yan gets a win. It's good. I like his grappling. Maybe we see a Marab versus Peter Yan too. That'd be fine with me. I really don't think he wins. I think Peter Yan would probably get manhandled again, but he's one of the most fun bantamweights, one of the most fun fighters in the UFC. So I'm glad when he's winning. As for Marcus McGee, he's also very fun to watch. Very good boxing. I could see him going far. Peter Yan's just that guy at bantamweight. He's always been. So yeah, next, the main event. Robert Whittaker versus Reiner Ritter. This was horrible to watch as a person who wanted Robert Whittaker to win. And I'll start with saying this. It was not a robbery. This definitely came down to the 5th round, in which Robert Whittaker did not do enough damage on the feet to win him that round. And Reiner Ritter controlled the shit out of him, which I do not like as a scoring criteria. And I'll take damage over that any day of the week. But Robert didn't do enough. He didn't do anything really in the 5th that showed me that he deserved that win over Reiner Ritter. And that's just how it is. I was going Robert Whittaker. I picked Robert Whittaker. He needed to do more in the 5th round, which is very sad to see. The 1st round, Robert Whittaker outstriking Reiner Ritter on the feet. That's what I thought was going to be the entirety of this fight, was Robert Whittaker just piecing up Reiner Ritter because he's ass on the feet. He's ass. But what Reiner Ritter did have, what he did have was a nasty knee to the body that was working the entire night and had Robert Whittaker hurt at certain points during this fight. It was his only move that had any efficiency on the feet, and it was landing every single time he threw it, and it was working really well. Every other thing he did was horrible on the feet. Every single time Reiner Ritter gets hit, it looks like he gets hit with a fucking nuke because he's retarded looking, basically. But he does have some weird Down syndrome strength. And every single time Robert Whittaker was trying to get away from a grappling exchange, he'd just grab his arm and kind of be like, "Get over here. I'm not done playing." Like, like his handler stepped away for a second and he got rowdy with another kid. Reiner Ritter is that kind of fighter. He's a weird guy. He's like people. It's easy to compare him to Dricus since they're so weird. But Reiner Ritter's way more weird to me than Dricus. At least Dricus has a method to his madness. It doesn't seem like Reiner Ritter has anything going on in his brain at all when he fights. Besides, I want to hold him, I want to grab him. Which he did do. He did do that. In the 2nd round, Reiner Ritter was starting to pick it up in the grappling. He was starting to succeed. Robert Whittaker started to get tired. Reiner Ritter got a takedown, held him down. He wins that round. I'm like, fuck. Robert Whittaker's already kind of tired. Reiner Ritter is actually succeeding. This is not what I want, and this is not what I expected. 3rd round, Reiner Ritter is putting on a pressure that is scary. He's such a big middleweight, such a scary pressure, because he's just big and retarded, and he's coming out, you're like, it's just scary. Robert Whittaker was feeling the pressure. He was getting scared, he was backing up, he was trying to find room where he couldn't, but then Robert rips a big overhand right, clips Reiner Ritter on the chin, drops him bad, follows up with ground and pound, does not get the finish. Reiner Ritter gets back up, gets a takedown, lays him down for a sec. Robert Whittaker gets the 3rd. In the 4th round, Reiner Ritter starts to grapple more. He starts to succeed more. Kind of boring. Holding him up against the cage a ton. But it's working. And Robert Whittaker can't hit him because of how gangly he is. Whenever he puts up his guard, Robert Whittaker's whiffing over the top, hitting his arms, can't really tag him. Didn't go to the body very much in this fight, which you probably should do against Reiner. But Reiner's very fucking tough, so it's hard to say if he could even take damage to the body. He looks like he could, but it's hard to say. But Robert Whittaker definitely didn't test that part of his game. He was going to the head for the majority of this fight. It was working. Wasn't working well enough, and Reiner Ritter's grappling was working very, very well. Even though it's not very good to watch and not very technical, it seems, it's effective, which is so strange. But the 5th round, as I said, Reiner Ritter holding Robert Whittaker up against the cage. Robert Whittaker not doing enough. Sadly, if he would have landed a couple more shots, I would have said, fuck it. Fuck yeah, Robert Whittaker won that fight. But he was throwing a jab that was a clean jab. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And Reiner Ritter had a ton of control time. Honestly, was landing that knee, landing some weird, goofy shots. He did more. Sadly, and I really want to say Robert Whittaker won, but I can't. That'd be dishonest. Reiner Ritter definitely won. I thought they were gonna rob him, which I would have been fine with that. But I can't understand how Reiner Ritter's like fight style works. And that's super hypocritical of me because I'm a big Dricus guy, and I'm a big I think Dricus du Plessis is an amazing fighter, and he's very weird as well. But something about Reiner de Ritter's the way he does things is just so much worse to me. I don't know why, and maybe it's just how he looks. I don't know, but Reiner de Ritter gets it done. There's some fun to be had at the top 5 middleweight with him involved. That is what I'll say about this. That's the big plus side of this win for Reiner, for the fans at least, is that Robert Whittaker's kind of been there, done that. There's not a ton of hype with him going up the rankings. Reiner de Ritter beat Robert Whittaker using the goofiest, dumbest style I've ever seen in my life, and it's intriguing to see how far he can go. I don't think he gets any farther, but he could, which is super interesting. And yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know what you think about that. I am happy about this card overall, besides the main event. But Reiner Ritter is interesting. So I will see you soon.